It's spooky season time, which means it's time for some spooky fragrances. Hello, my gorgeous ones. Welcome to Aleisha Budget Beauty. My name is Aleisha. Here on my channel, I love all things affordable fashion, beauty, and fragrance. I do hauls, tutorials, reviews, spooky fragrances, all sorts of fun stuff. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe, stick around, be a friend. Okay, you guys, so I did this video last year and I had a lot of fun doing it and it was very well received. A lot of you really enjoyed it. And I've been asked several times in about the last month if I'm going to do an updated version. And so here it is. So the only thing different is I am switching out one category, which is last year I didn't even set out to do it. I don't think. I just couldn't really whittle it down, the fragrances I wanted to talk about. So I ended up doing a Freddy Krueger category, which were kind of more of those like toasty, smells like something sort of burning fragrances. This year, instead of doing the Freddy Krueger, I am doing the haunted house. So I am not doing any of the like gourmand sort of treats because of that video will be coming after this. At some point I'm going to do more of like a trick-or-treat carnival fragrances. So the categories here are going to be witchy, vampire, ghost, dark forest, potion, and the haunted house. And I have 3 in each category, so there will be 18 spooky fragrances in total. And if you want to go see my video from last year, I'm not repeating them, they will be different. So I will have that linked if you guys want to go watch that. So, and I did 20 then, but I'm doing 18 this time. All right, let's go ahead and start with the vampire. All right, my very first one is a very, very obvious choice for vampire. This fragrance is called Dracula. This is by Villa Urbanium. It is a newer brand. They are a South Korean brand. And this thing was near impossible, it felt like, for me to get. I actually ordered a sample off of Scent Split about 3 months ago. I really fell in love with it. This is a spicy dark rose fragrance, but it's still very, very wearable. Sometimes if you go into that really dark rose spicy category, which this is not the lone fragrance like that. There's quite a few out there that are like this, but some of those other fragrances that are similar either go like too far on the spicy side for me, or the rose is a little bit too strong. This one was blended so beautifully, so wearably. It smells very much like something that you would wear in the October through maybe January months, cold season. It has this warmth to it. The rose is perfectly balanced in here. It doesn't overpower things. There's also this coconut note that when I first read that there was coconut in it after smelling it, I was kind of confused because it really doesn't stand out. But what I think the coconut is doing in this fragrance is it kind of comes in and takes the edge off of some of the kind of darkness in this. It kind of smooths the edges. So instead of smelling like straight up coconut, it just really made this sort of stealthy, sexy, almost like it's like stalking you, rose, deep rose, kind of midnight fragrance that is just so pretty. It's very seductive. And the reason why I say this was almost so hard for me to get is I ordered the full size, and then pretty shortly after that, Scent Split said, oh, sorry, we're sold out. They said I could either get a refund or wait for this to be restocked. And I was like, I want this fragrance. I want it for spooky season. I have to have it. So I waited and I waited and waited. It took over 2 months and I finally got my fragrance. Oh my gosh, I almost dropped it. Okay. Whew, I would have been so mad. So this baby is just, I love it. I want to smell more from this brand so badly. I think it's such a cool design to the bottle. I think it's gorgeous. The other fragrances they have sound really unique and interesting to me. So it is a cool niche brand out of South Korea. That is Dracula. Okay, next up, I'm just going to talk about these together because I recently layered them together. So these are my other 2 that I chose for Vampire. And that is Narciso Rodriguez's Rouge, and then this is Acro Glow. Now, I recently layered these for the Taylor Swift Life of a Showgirl movie, little special that just came out for the album. And I wanted to layer these because I wanted something kind of like risque smelling, something almost like maybe even a little vintagey and kind of bold and sexy. And that's kind of, you know, I get that from vampires. They're vintage, they're sexy. I have a thing for vampires, okay? Like if my husband turned into a vampire, game over, okay? I love vampires. So I wore these together and I thought this is also giving me vampire vibes here. The rouge I've talked about several times. This is a musky rose pepper sort of a fragrance. I think pink pepper. This is so kind of dark lipstick smelling. I love Narciso Rodriguez musks. I completely understand if people do not, because they are very strong. They are very stark. They can be like difficult wears, I think, for some people. But if you're a musk lover, then, oh my gosh, I just feel like Narciso Rodriguez just has, to me, the corner on musks. I think it's so pretty. It always has reminded me of like, kind of like a showgirl, like someone who's sitting in the back putting on her lipstick. She's tough. She can take care of herself. And so then when I layered the Acro Glow, which is this incensey amber vanilla to it, it is so seductive. And I thought if I was a vampire, I would want to smell like this. I would just, I mean, vampires, they seduce, right? They lure you in so they can sink their teeth into you and drain your ever-loving life. This is the combo that I would wear. Absolutely. Okay, my next category is going to be haunted house. And for haunted house, I just wanted to think of fragrances that had a mystery to them, maybe something sort of burning, maybe something sort of incensey. That's kind of the vibe that I'm going with haunted house. So the first one I chose is Lost and Found by Noise. Now, when you read the notes of this isn't obvious. This is like a citrus, rhubarb, raspberry, I think. I know there's cedar and amber in it, but this fragrance to me has always smelled like something is kind of not roasting on like a campfire. You guys, I was gonna cut that out. I'm gonna leave it in. I am gonna leave that in. I should add werewolf to the mix, another category. That was my dog Phoebe. She's my guard werewolf. She hates when people come to our door. Delivery man, beware of the werewolf Phoebe. So that was her, and I just wasn't expecting it. So I was like, I'm over here talking about haunted houses, and then she's like, "Ugh." So I'm gonna leave that in. Okay, so as I was saying, I don't even know where I was, but Lost and Found to me has always given me this sort of like something is bubbling, like burning over like a fire stove, like not necessarily in the woods, but like something inside. So instead of putting this in the dark forest category, I just put this in like there's like something burning like wood wise inside the haunted house, like in like the little like fireplace, like the little kettle, the little black kettle over it that's bubbling. Like it's got the like root rhubarb vegetable in the pot, and it's just like bubbling. You can smell like the cedar of the wood is what I get from this. It's always given me just like fall, winter, burning cedar sort of a vibe. I really, really like this. I don't know why people don't like this more. I think that it's one of my favorite, if not my favorite, rhubarb fragrances, because I don't always love rhubarb. It can be too sharp and too bitter for me. This one I think is done really, really well. So that's my first. I'm still laughing about my dog. Okay, the next one we have is Prada's Infusion de Vanille. This is a smoky vanilla. There's also some Angelica in here, so there's something kind of almost like slightly green going on in here. But you really just get this almost incensey smoking, and it doesn't have incense as listed, but like this soft, smoky, incensey, vanilla pod, vanilla bean. It's really pretty, actually. I really, really like this vanilla. It's kind of simple, but I really didn't have any other vanillas quite like this. This is why after smelling the sample, I went ahead and got a full size. So it's almost like something that would be kind of wafting upstairs, like if you walk into the haunted house and then you can just smell like some sort of like vanilla incense is burning, but like way, way upstairs with the door closed. It's just kind of like softly billowing under the door upstairs, and you can kind of see the fog of it coming downstairs in the darkness. It's not like an overly in-your-face vanilla. It is like a softly wafting, incensey, smoky vanilla. The next one that I chose is by Chansu, Maison Chansu. This is Cleo. And this one I had to put in here. This is a pink and black pepper, musky, orris, kind of powdery. This one definitely smells like, this is so haunted house witchy to me, but it's really, really, really pretty. I also kind of get almost something head shop about this a little bit. There's no like cannabis note in here or anything, but if you've ever been in one of those or any kind of store that sells like the incense sticks and things like that, that's what this fragrance reminds me of a lot. This is such a beautiful, this is one that snuck up on me because when I first tested it, I was like, I like it, but I don't know. And then the more I smelled it, the more I had to have it. I almost felt like I was under a spell or something with this. So instead of saying this is like the witch fragrance, this is what her house smells like. Okay, now we're going on to Dark Forest. So the first one I have here is actually from Yes Style. So this is like, Yes Style has a lot of like Sea Beauty products on it. Also, they have clothing, but they also have some fragrances too. So this is Cheerflor. Cheerflor is the brand, like Cheerflor. It's pretty inexpensive. This is Angel, I believe. It's an EDT. I really enjoy this. This is a strongly clove smelling fragrance. So it's pretty bold. It almost smells like something is burning. There's also, I think, some cedarwood, sandalwood in the base of this. I want to say there might be nutmeg as well. So this truly smells like something deep, dark in the forest. Like if the witch's house does have a fire burning and the smoke is kind of just like billowing out of the chimney, but you can smell all of the trees around you in the forest, that's what this gives. This is actually really fun to layer with when you just want to add like a little, like a punch of something like smoky, dark, mysterious. Then we have Demeter's Ominous Mist, which, I mean, the name just sounds like it would be in a dark forest. What's interesting about this one is it's actually a really fruity fragrance. There's raspberry in here. I believe there is some citrus, like citrus mandarin at the top as well. It's not necessarily like woody, but the ominous mist is really what this smells like as if you've got the raspberries naturally growing in the forest or on the bushes, and there's something just kind of dark and sinister going on in that forest. The ominous mist, what have you. It has this sort of lightness to it, and it's strange because there's nothing like aquatic in here that would give it like droplet misty, but somehow it just kind of smells like a fruity ominous mist. It's the best word for it. Okay, next up we have Amethyst by Lalique, and this is a really just juicy dark berry sort of a fragrance. I believe this has blackcurrant and blackberry. It may have some other kind of berry in it as well. You can almost smell the like stems that you would pick the berries off of in this. So I'm getting like this thorny, bush, kind of this wooded area with the really deep, dark, juicy berries just about to burst off of it. That is what this fragrance smells like. So I thought that fit in the dark forest category. Okay, next I'm moving on to the potion. Now, a few of these could have, I think, gone in different categories as well. This is Fulton & Rourke's Devil's Garden. I think this could have definitely gone in the haunted house. It could have also gone in the dark forest. This is an incensey, peppery, woody sort of a fragrance. There's something about the juniper berries in here, that little fruitiness that it gives, that I think, oh, okay, this is where like the witch has gone and picked everything out of the forest and she's making her elixir. So she's got like the incense, you've got the cardamom, so like a little bit of spice in here. It was picked from the woods. It was like a juniper berry, and it definitely smells kind of potion-y. Could be the dark forest, could even be the witch. Like this one could fit in almost every category here. This is a really beautiful unisex fall, winter. It's a very moody fragrance. That is Devil's Garden. Then this one is inspired. Like choosing this, I was like, oh, why didn't I ever think about this before? This is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. This is Paco Rabanne's Ultraviolet. I've gone through many bottles of this. This was like one of my signature scent in my 20s. And this is a gorgeous, vibrant violet fragrance. I mean, if I had any fragrance to match me today, it would be this. This is a compliment getter and always has been. There is also pimento in here, which is so unique. It's when I realized like, oh, I love pimento in a fragrance, and I have for like almost 20 years. So this has this like electric purple smell to it. The violet in this it's like if you smell violet in other fragrances where it can be powdery and it can be very demure. It's like if you made it electric, like you plugged it into something and the violet's like, that's what this smells like. I know it's very, very strange, but if you smell it, I think you would know what I mean. I think the pimento, that like spice, is what is giving it that kick. So it's very like intoxicating. It lures people in. I mean, I'm telling you, I've had people track me down for years and years and years when I wear this and ask me what I'm wearing. So it's like truly almost like a potion, like you're putting someone under a spell. That is Ultraviolet by Paco Rabanne. Then we have by Eze Perfumes. This is Joy. And I think the name is so crazy because this fragrance, when I first smelled it, I was like, this is so kind of dangerous smelling and dark smelling. And it does have tuberose in it. So it can kind of go the other direction. Like there is, I guess, this a world where this could just kind of almost be like a pretty spring floral that you're wearing. But there is Creeping Ragoon, I think that's what it's called, or Crawling Ragoon. There's a floral in this that is a vine floral that has a very mysterious and dark scent to it. So the second that I smelled this, I was like, this is so witchy. And this one could go in just like the witch category that I have, but I thought, you know, this kind of has like a potion-like quality to it as well. Because you can almost smell like as if she picked like the dangerous like nightshade like florals in the forest and is putting it into her potion. I actually really, really like this one. It's a very, very unique fragrance and it's affordable. That is Eze Joy. Okay, now we're going into our ghost category. And for ghost, I think of fragrances that are kind of like soft and floaty. They're kind of mysterious and not like in your face and just kind of like you want to know more about it, that sort of a thing. So this is Mise en Cier's Powder d'Or, and I fell in love with this house so much. There is this like signature scent that all the fragrances have in the base to me. This is a iris. There's also, I believe, tiara flower in here, but I get more of this kind of soft, powdery iris musk to this. It's just kind of one of those like your skin, but better, but like very, very expensive. So like I literally picture this rich, wealthy, beautiful woman who was murdered or something, you know, like back in time. And maybe she fell from her castle or even something, I don't know. And she's still haunting like the halls, but she's got like the beautiful white gown, like kind of like almost ball gown like, that just kind of floats. The werewolf is back. Phoebe the werewolf is back. Give her a minute. Okay, maybe someone's just walking by. Okay, if you guys couldn't hear that, I didn't hear a ghost. That was Phoebe, my werewolf again. Okay, so yes, this is just, it's demure. It's kind of like, it is a little mysterious and just kind of, it's light, floaty. Like I smell white. I do smell like a white powder, just kind of like floating whenever I smell this. So that's... Okay. Moving on. Next up, we have Fulton & Rourke's Cloudland. This is your rain like stuck in the clouds, kind of skin scent as well. There's a little bit of citrus going on in here, but it really smells like there's something like, you're like, am I smelling rain? Like almost just like ghost rain, you know, like in the air. And this kind of has that like mood. Like if I had a different category that was just like a mood category, this one could be like the mood of like spookiness. And it's also kind of somber, but it's very cozy and like relaxing at the same time. So I'm like, I don't know, I'm picturing this like sad ghost, you know, who's just looking for a place to rest and to feel comfort whenever I smell this. But I really do love this fragrance a lot. Okay, then we have another one actually that I got from Yes Style quite a while back. This is by Biya, B-I-Y-A, another very inexpensive one. This is another musky fragrance. One of those sort of clean, out of the shower fragrances, musky fragrances. I think this is just like jasmine, cotton, I think is in this. Jasmine, cotton, and musk. So it kind of smells like sheets, like clean sheets blowing in the wind. You know, if you have your little haunted mansion, haunted house, and like the window, like you walk into the room, you're like, I know I shut that window. Why are the white curtains like, you know, letting in this like kind of like clean, crisp air from somewhere, and like the sheets look like ghosts floating? That's the vibe that I get from this fragrance. A very nice, clean, out of the bath, but kind of mysterious at the same time. Okay, now we have our very last category. This is the witchy category. So these are just like my 3 witchy scents. Okay, my first one is Lilacs and Gooseberries by Shea and Blue. And this one I did like this little video about, because this fragrance is inspired by Yennefer. I do not watch the show, but my husband used to. I know a little bit about it, but Yennefer is this really powerful like sorceress in the show The Witcher. And there's like a whole storyline about the lilacs and gooseberries and this man that's like drawn to her and her smell of lilacs and gooseberries. So this has this very pretty duality of something very feminine and seemingly innocuous, like the lilacs, this pretty purple flower. But then the gooseberries kind of have this little bit of tanginess and like this little bit of like it's kind of like a strange berry, like not something that you smell all the time. So it's kind of like mysterious. And then there's some amber in the base of this as well. So you get this play of like this kind of pretty flower mixed with something like a mysterious berry and this warmth. And it is very, it really kind of draws you in a lot. So like I'm thinking a witch that smells like this, like this beautiful woman who's very mysterious, and she's cloaked, you know, shrouded in her cloak, and she smells like this. And then that's how she kind of lures people in, you know, specifically men, I think, because I think men really enjoy this fragrance. So I really like this one a lot, a lot. It has that nice play of like feminine, pretty, but like scary at the same time. Okay, next up we have another Narciso Rodriguez. This is the Musk Noir Rose. So this obviously has rose, the musk, but then this one also has the plum in it. And I've always really loved how kind of dark and mysterious this one is as well. Yeah, this is definitely what a witch would smell like, I think. Like she's got that kind of, I'm not saying this one isn't like an animalic musk, but it does have musk, you know, that is like originated from like an animal scent. So like there's something kind of carnal in here, and then that like deep dark rose, and then that deep rich plum. So like there's a lot of dark going on in this, but it's still pretty, which you're kind of like, I mean, maybe the mask comes off. Maybe that's how she gets you in, and then she turns really ugly when she gets you to her witch's house. But a witch would definitely wear the Musk Rose Noir. Then the last one that we had, again, this is kind of like a no-brainer. This is Penhaligon's The Bewitching Yasmine. And this is a deep, dark, spicy vanilla fragrance. There's coffee, cardamom, incense, fir. Like this one truly, I think out of all of them, really could fit in almost every category. I don't really know if this would fit in like the ghost category, but this has, you know, like the fir that would come from the woods. It has the incense that you would smell in the haunted house, and even that a witch would smell like, or even the elixir, the cardamom, like a little spice that she throws in. This is seductive, so it could be like the vampire fragrance. It just, I'm not sure how witch would fit in, but it fits out of 5 of the 6 categories for sure. It's another mood fragrance. Like you smell this and you're like, oh, this smells like October whenever you smell the Bewitching Yasmine. So, and it's got the cat, so I mean, obviously. Okay, that is it, you guys. Those are my spooky fragrances for this year. And like I said, I will be doing a more like gourmand treats version of this with like carnival trick-or-treat sort of fragrances. So let me know your favorite spooky fragrances in the comments. I thank you so much for watching. And as always, have fun shopping, budget shopping, and smelling fabulous. Bye.